Hello, Pre-Algebra students. This is Chapter 7.3, Percents and Decimals. Earlier in our chapter, we used fractions to solve percent problems. Now we're going to solve percent problems using decimals. Let's begin. Fractions, decimals, and percents are all different ways to communicate the relationship between numbers. A simple way to express the relationship between decimals, fractions, and percents is like this. 0.25 or 25 hundredths can be written as 25 over 100. However, 25 over 100 is also the same as 25%. All three of these numbers are equivalent. This relationship suggests to us the following rules for writing decimals as percents and percents as decimals. To write a decimal as a percent, move the decimal point 2 places to the right, and then add the percentage sign. To write a percent as a decimal, move the decimal point 2 places to the left, and remove the percent sign. Let's use that rule to solve each of these problems. Let's write 62 hundredths as a percent. We'll move the decimal point 2 places to the right, rewrite our number, and add the percent sign. 62 hundredths is the same as 62%. 1, we'll move our decimal point 2 places to the right, giving us 100, and add the percent sign. 1 is the same as 100%. 2.3 are 2 3/10. We'll move our decimal point 2 places to the right. Our number becomes 230, add our percent sign. 2 3/10 is the same as 230%. Now let's rewrite these percents as decimals. We'll start with 75% by moving our decimal point 2 places to the left, 0.75, and remove the percent sign. 75% is the same as 75 hundredths. 0.4, we're going to move our decimal point 2 places to the left. Got to add a 0 here. Our new number becomes 4 thousandths. So 4/10 of a percent is the same as 4 thousandths. Finally, 168%. Move our decimal point 2 places to the left. It becomes 1.68 or 1 68 hundredths. Here are your first set of checkpoint problems. In problems 1 through 4, please write the decimal as a percent. In problems 5 through 8, please rewrite your percent as a decimal. A fraction, a decimal, and a percent can all represent the same number. You can write a fraction as a percent by first writing the fraction as a decimal. Think of the decimal as the halfway point. So let's begin by taking 3/8 and rewriting it as a decimal, then converting that to a percent. So 3 over 8 would be rewritten as a decimal as 0.375. Remember, you get that number by dividing the numerator, 3, by the denominator, 8. Next, we'll convert this to a decimal, to a percent, by moving our decimal place 2 places to the right and adding the percent sign. Another way to think about this, or the way I learned it when I was in school, is that to convert a number into a percent, you take the numerator, divide it by the denominator, and multiply by 100. Your final answer is your percent. That's essentially what you're doing when you move your decimal places as well. So all I'm doing is giving you different language for the same process. Now let's try the next fraction, which is 5/3. Let's rewrite 5/3 as a decimal, which is going to be 1.666 repetent. Move your decimal point 2 places to the right or multiply by 100, and you get 166.6 repetent percent. Here are some more checkpoint problems. Write each of these fractions as a percent. We have one last problem to work together, one last set of checkpoint problems, and then we're finished with 7.3. So press pause while you work, and I'll see you in a moment. Let's finish up with a word problem that lets us apply all we've learned. The African pygmy hippo is the smallest species of hippopotamus. Suppose a common adult hippo, this guy, weighs 5,600 pounds. And an adult pygmy hippo weighs 10.5% of the common adult hippo's weight. So 10.5% of 5,600 pounds. How much does that adult pygmy hippo weigh? Remember, in math, the word of is code for multiply. So we can find 10.5% of 5,600 by multiplying those two numbers together. So let's multiply 10.5% by 5,600. Let's first convert our percent into a decimal. And now we can easily multiply 0.105 times 5,600 to get an answer of 588 pounds. So the adult pygmy hippo weighs about 588 pounds. Still pretty big if you ask me. Now we can use estimation to check the reasonableness of our answer. About 10% of 5,600 would be 560 pounds. So it makes perfect sense that 10.5% would be about 588 pounds. Okay, our answer is perfectly reasonable. Here are your final checkpoint problems for this chapter. Please find the percent of each number as given. When I see you tomorrow, we'll do more work together on converting between percents and decimals and finding percents of numbers. See you then.